Hello. Hello to Facebook family. Taking in a nice breath. It feels really good to be here tonight sharing with you guys. Just being really raw. And I got really inspired this afternoon when leading a session with a client. It's just like something happened inside of my heart where I was like, I have to share about this. Because I think this is something that a lot of us struggle with and don't even know. We just don't think about it. So this concept of what's yours versus what's not, and how do you actually start to differentiate between the two? Oftentimes, you can walk around with pain in your body and have so much pain and feel so frustrated and start to label yourself. And pain, I don't just mean physical pain, but yes, physical pain for sure. Physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain. Pain shows up in all different kinds of ways. And when you become really used to this pain and it becomes a repetitive thing on a day-to-day basis, it can be really challenging to know how to separate what's yours, what pain is really yours, and what pain doesn't belong to you. So one of the things that I do when I work with clients is I help them to be able to look into it, to really start to feel into what that pain is all about and where does it really come from? And when you're holding that pain, it's sometimes you don't even, sometimes it's like you don't even know what do you do with it? How do you, I'm pointing to my heart because often we have so much pain in our heart and in our back body and we don't know how to just let it go and how to get rid of it. It's just I don't know what to do with this. So how can you have your pain and how can you have your joy too in your heart? How can you have all of it? And I'm just going to read you a few questions because when I work with clients, I just receive these downloads and a lot of clarity. So I want you to play with this. I'm just going to give you just a few tips, a few questions to ask yourself when you're trying to differentiate between what's your pain and what's not your pain. What's maybe your mom's pain? What have you been walking around with that you've been labeling yourself as that might not even be yours? So I'm going to read these questions. Do I want this inside of me right now? Oftentimes when there's pain inside of you, it's you're like, I don't even know. I don't know. What am I supposed to do with this pain? I don't know. And you just get to this point where you just maybe you don't even know how to ask yourself that question. Maybe you feel just so blocked up, so constricted, so tight inside, so tender. What are those sensations that you have inside of you that might prevent you from being able to ask that question of, do I want this inside of me right now? Here's the next question. Do I feel safe to let it go? Ooh, that's a big question. That's a really, 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 really big question. Do I feel safe to let it go? And what do you do when you start to ask yourself that question and it's it becomes so unbearable to feel the sensations inside of your body where you're like, ouch, 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 ouch. Do I feel safe to let it go? Do I believe that I can let it go? Do you believe that you can let this pain go? And again, when you've been set in a certain way, and you've been living in survival mode, when maybe you've been the one who's been responsible in your family for taking care of everybody, for swallowing everybody else's pain because you know that they can't do it. So, and maybe you're just you've wanted to always just keep that connection going. And so, then to even ask yourself this question of, do I believe that I can let this pain go? Maybe it's so so awkward to step into your body, into your human body, and to ask yourself, do I believe that I can let this go? So here are the 3 questions when you're differentiating whether this pain is yours or if it's somebody else's. Do I want this inside of me right now? And this takes courage. This takes so much courage to like ask yourself these questions and to not be scared of the answers and to not feel like you can't, I don't know if I can handle this. Of course you can handle this. Of course you can handle this. And really, it all comes down to, here's the number 2 question. Do I feel safe to let it go? That safety thing, that safety piece is a big, big part of this. And number 3, do I truly believe that I can let it go? So I just wanted to bring up this conversation today because I think this is something that a lot of us don't really understand. We can't comprehend in our brain versus our heart. Like, what is this? And like, why am I living with this? Why do I wake up feeling like this? Why do I have this feeling inside of me? I don't understand. So you get to have your fullest permission to like give yourself that permission that you can ask yourself these questions and you can begin to start to pull apart the layers and do it from a place of, I'm calm, I'm safe, I'm safe. Even if I answer these questions and maybe these answers wouldn't be things that like you would feel okay to say in front of other people, like you can say this to yourself. And when I allow myself to feel my feelings and answer these 3 questions, what does that create for me next? How does that change my whole entire relationship with myself as I allow myself to feel all the feels? Remember, your courage. That's who you truly are. Your courage. So you can do this. You can do this. I give you full permission, and I invite you to give yourself that permission to be all of who you are so you can feel all the pieces of yourself, and you can do that deep dive healing that sometimes you think like, I don't know if I can really do this. Yep, yes you can. I love you guys so much. I love you so much. Sending you so much aloha. So much aloha. And you know how to find me. I shared today a very, very, very special post, which I felt was really important. And I'm just going to invite you to take a moment to go find it if that interests you, and to really step into exploring as you define and really separate between the what's yours and what's not. After you get really clear on that, then start to imagine how you're going to show up, how you're going to explain to others like who you are, like really defining yourself and enjoying explaining who you are as you clear out all the cobwebs, as you clear out all the gunk, the funk, you know? It's like you get to reclaim yourself because your courage, that's who you are. So I love you. And I send you so much aloha. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And you know how to find me. Take care. Bye.